Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Perry the Entertainer back once again. I know it's been 2 months since my last video, and I said that I was never leaving again. Well, turns out more stuff ended up coming up, but now that that is all out of the way, I'm going to give you guys my review or my live experience, quote unquote, of last night's pay per view or last night's Payback pay per view. Which was held in Chicago, so I was able to go to this pay per view, and for $40, I think it was pretty good. We're just gonna kick things off here. Just the atmosphere in this arena last night. In the arena last night was just it's definitely different than it is on TV nowadays, and it's definitely different than if the last time you guys went to a event, if a WWE event was, I don't know, about 7 years ago was the last time I did. Stuff has definitely changed. You can definitely tell that in the crowd alone. But we're gonna kick things off with the mask versus hair match, the Payback pre-show match between Torito and Hornswoggle. Definitely, I wasn't able to see their WeLC match from last pay-per-view, but it was entertaining a little bit. I mean, it was kind of funny a little, I guess. I wasn't out of my seat for any of it. In fact, I was checking Twitter the entire night during, like, boring parts of the match, or if I was tweeting something, because my Twitter feed last night was blowing up. You guys were freaking awesome last night, and I thank you guys. But if Torito wins, Hornswoggle's got to get his hair cut, and if Hornswoggle wins, Torito's got to take off the mask. And this match was made like last week, and it didn't really have any build up to it besides the whole pulling the fucking tail off the thing. Or, I'm sorry, I cussed. I'm sorry. Pulling the tail off the bull, and that's the build up going into this match. But I guess it's just something for their pre-show, to get people to kind of tune in and watch the pre-show, which is, I guess, it's good booking. I don't know. We saw Torito get the victory. After Hornswoggle tried to take his mask off anyway, he took the mask off only to reveal that there was another mask underneath, and he got the victory there. And they shaved Hornswoggle's head. People say that he looked like a Stone Cold. You know, I don't know. I was kind of on the fence about the entire thing. Hornswoggle's always had kind of short hair, so it doesn't really fit him. That this long hair really doesn't fit him too much. But yeah, I guess it was entertaining for the most part. It was. I found myself kind of laughing at some of the stupid stuff there, but like I said, maybe it's because of the atmosphere that was in the crowd and everything. My section, which was, we sat facing the ring, and to the left was our stage. Was the stage? I'm sorry. The stage was on our left, so we weren't exactly on camera, but we were on the side where the camera was facing. Not the side of the camera, where the camera was placed. We'll put it that way. Um, First match of the night was the sorry, United States Championship match. Sheamus defending against Cesaro. This is the first time we've seen a United States title defense in quite some time, especially on a pay per view. Um, Very, very, very good match. Anything with Sheamus in it is usually, kind of the back burner of the night. But you know, it was a pretty good style match. We saw Cesaro kick out of some crazy predicaments, like the kicking out of the white noise, and just overall, it was a pretty good match. We had Heyman teasing us about the Blackhawks game last night, and don't get me started on that atrocity. But you know, it was throughout the night. It was kind of stupid that they used the Blackhawks to get heat for a lot of people like Heyman and Bo Dallas, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But we I think we lit up WWE last night when we chanted CM Punk all night. We chanted "Let's go Blackhawks" all night. I think I was one of the sources for the chants. I don't remember which part of the night it was, but I believe it was very early on. I think it was actually in the hair versus mask match. But oh, one other thing. If you guys have never seen the Cesaro swing in person, excuse me for a second. I was getting some coffee. If you guys haven't seen the Cesaro swing in person yet, you guys are missing out. It's very different than it was on TV because it's very you feel it when you're in the arena. You feel it and it's it's like a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like no pun intended because I know that's a Chris Masters thing, but it's like a masterpiece. It's a work of art the way he does it, especially in person. But we saw Sheamus get the roll up victory after getting that a pretty crappy finish to what was a pretty good match. Sheamus gets the victory, and that's that. The next match we had was an impromptu Ryback versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust the Brotherhood. It was all right for what it was worth. We used this to kind of get more of our CM Punk and Blackhawks chants out. Ryback ends up getting the victory here. And then afterwards, Cody walks up to Goldust and says, "Brother, you need to get a new tag team partner." I don't know if we were all expecting the heel turn. We all knew it. We were expecting the heel turn from Cody Rhodes, and I even said it would have been even better if Goldust was the one to turn on Cody, and it would have been, a little bit more shocking because you wouldn't have expected it, especially with Cody's antics coming up over the last few weeks. But it was very unique the way they did it because it's funny that Cody kind of just goes, "Yeah, brother, you need to have a new tag team partner." I don't know if maybe he's giving up on Goldust or I don't know if he's a heel yet, though, is what I'm saying. So everybody who's saying, "Yeah, Cody Rhodes turned heel last night," don't pull your horses. Don't hold your horses. Just wait a little bit because I don't think he's turned full-fledged heel yet. I'm just saying. But that was that. Goldust was kind of like distraught. He didn't know what was going on, but I think it was a pretty unique way to start the desolation, or the dissolve of the Brotherhood. The next match we had Rusev versus Big E. This was a pretty good match, especially because my standards were set so low for this match that they exceeded them. We had Lana, sorry. Promoting Russia and all that stuff, and then Big E came out and represented USA and everything, and then Rusev makes Big E tap with the accolade, and that was that. I mean, we were kind of dead through that. I'm not even gonna lie, we were kind of dead through that match. I guess we were gonna taking a break because of the next match, which was another impromptu match: Kofi Kingston versus Bo Dallas. This guy's hysterical. Anyway, the match doesn't even get to start off because Kane comes out and Kane just basically tears Kofi to shreds because Kofi said something about Stephanie McMahon and the authority about because how they're forcing Daniel Bryan to choose between his title and his wife. And Kofi spoke out about it, and I guess Stephanie wrote it or Stephanie read it, and Kane came out and basically destroyed Kofi, hitting him with a tombstone and a choke slam. And then Bo Dallas gets back in the ring. He's like, "Don't worry, Kofi. You'll be back on your feet in no time. All you gotta do is leave." And it was the funniest thing in the fucking world. Sorry, I cursed again. It was the funniest thing in the world. I fell back in my seat laughing so hard. I freaking love this guy. I think I'm officially a believer, you guys. Um, Next match, we had Bad News Barrett defend the Intercontinental Championship against Rob Van Dam. I think this was probably one of the hottest matches of the night. I think we couldn't decide, especially in the beginning, because we were chanting Bad News Barrett, Rob Van Dam. We love this match just because of how over these two guys are. We all know how over Bad News Barrett is over the last few weeks. And RVD, well, he's up there, so I shouldn't have to say any more than that. In the end, Bad News Barrett hit a bullhammer to retain against Rob Van Dam. I think this definitely, I think it solidified Bad News Barrett as a top tier guy in the company, especially beating such an over guy like RVD, because RVD's right now in that kind of position where Chris Jericho was, where you can beat him, and it'll do more good than harm. I know that's kind of the backwards way of saying that, but you know exactly what I mean by that. But if Van Dam beats you, you're not necessarily out of it. You know what I mean? Because RVD's just that over. I know the key word in this entire thing is over, But it was a good match. And I think, like I said, I think it did more good than harm in this match because it made Barrett look like a true champion, like a true villain. Um, but other than that, I think it was definitely a very good match, um, especially around this point in the night after the Bo Dallas thing was where everything started to kick up because after this we had the segment with Daniel Bryan. Was he going to give up the title or was he going to have Stephanie fire Brie? A lot of good stuff in this. We had some CM Punk references from Stephanie McMahon. I don't remember those off the top of my head, but we chanted CM Punk throughout the entire freaking segment. Um, I knew he wasn't going to be there. I knew he was probably at the Hawks game across the street, but it was fun just doing it anyway. You got Brie Bella. Basically, the big developing news coming out of this segment was Brie Bella basically saying, "You don't fire me because I quit," and we all kind of saw our section saw it coming because especially with the way that she was kind of standing there with Daniel Bryan and everything, and it made it seem so unreal at the time. She refused to have Daniel Bryan give the title over to Stephanie, and then she looked at Stephanie and said, you can't fire me because I quit." She slapped the crap out of Stephanie McMahon. I'm sure people in Philadelphia heard that because it was. I got chilled after that happened because I just didn't expect her to just wallop her. I mean, for real. Like that slap sounded so freaking real, and then Stephanie scurried back to the back, and while Brie and Daniel Bryan are yesing, I don't think Brie realized that she quit WWE because she's still chanting in the ring with the champion. But it was whatever. It was a very good segment though. I think it was pretty good done, but I don't know what it was, and maybe it's because so much build up to this segment was kind of it was anticlimactic. If you guys get, I think that this segment should have been on Raw because I think it would have done a lot better on a Raw instead of kind of in the Chicago atmosphere. Because when wrestling is in the edgier cities like New York City, Philadelphia, Chicago, LA's starting to get there. Um, WWE really tends to crank up their stuff, and I know that they didn't want this NXT takeover thing that was on Thursday. They didn't want that to overshadow what Payback was supposed to be. Payback's supposed to be the main roster pay per view, and they didn't want it to overshadow Payback. So I know that they did have to use the Blackhawks heat. They had to use the CM Punk heat. They had to use all that stuff to try and get villains over a lot more. And I don't know if it worked. Excuse me. I know we're working under tornado-like conditions right now. So if you guys hear wind a lot, I apologize. But I think this show was very well put together, though, because a lot of the stuff on paper looked very, very iffy. It looked very rocky, especially coming into the pay per view because of the whole hair versus mask match and everything. Um, Everything was very rocky coming into the night, but once it started developing, I was on the edge of my seat for especially after this part of the night, after the segment, I was on the edge of my seat, and it was a pretty good night though. The next match we had was the last man standing match: John Cena, Bray Wyatt. These two guys played their gimmicks to a freaking T. I'm on the record, I think, for saying that this match would have been the the cat the catalyst to the Bray Wyatt push and everything, and how Bray Wyatt's been developed over the last few weeks, especially last few months, excuse me. Um, but it was a very physical, it was very brutal. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, they came in and they proved that they were pretty dominant. They had John Cena go out there, and John Cena came out there with Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and I think that was pretty well put together. Kind of having Jimmy and Jay being the mirrors or the the equalizers, if you get what I mean, to the Wyatt family, and I think that was very well put together in that case because it kept interference from getting involved. I know interference did get involved a lot of the time, where you know there were points where Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were actually the main piece of the match. Especially when Eric Rowan was put through the table, I think by Jimmy Uso, and then Jey Uso was suplexed by Luke Harper out of the ring through two tables. I think that was probably the holy shit moment of the night. Well, no, I don't know. We have another match coming up that probably had the same factor, but um, it was very well put together. A lot of stuff was involved. The steel steps got involved in multiple cases of the night. We saw the steel chairs getting involved a lot through the night, especially the steel steps. I think the steel steps were actually a symbol of this match. There was points where Cena would throw it out. Cena threw it out of the ring and it smashed Bray Wyatt right in the head, and we all were like, "Whoa!" He just attempted murder on Bray Wyatt, and Wyatt's just laying there. And I swear to God, the only thing that would have been better about this night was if there was blood, and I think that would have made it a lot better. Not better, but you know what I mean. I think blood was needed in this match. I think it was just needed because of how much this feud has erupted, how it's evolved since the Royal Rumble when it actually originated, and I guarantee this is probably the last match between these two for quite a while. Um, we had John Cena FU Bray Wyatt 3 times throughout the entire night. There was a point in the match where, oh my, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Cena hit an FU. Cena hit his first FU, and Bray Wyatt was laid out. And we all were thinking, like, for some reason, I don't know what it was, but maybe it's because I checked the time and it was getting very late, and I was like, there's no way they're gonna let this match end in like the first 5 minutes. And then sure enough, 8, 9, and right before 9, Bray Wyatt like transforms into his little crab walk thing, and it was freaky looking. If you like another thing, if you guys have ever seen Bray Wyatt's entrance live, you know how amazing it was to be in Chicago last night and be in that sea of cell phones. I did see that one picture where all the cell phones were surrounding the arena and everything when they were walking out, and it's truly, that's another like a work of art when it comes to this stuff. But the ending came when John Cena FU'd he FU'd Bray Wyatt, excuse me. He threw these boxes that the crew uses to, I guess, put up fireworks and everything for the pyro and everything. And then Cena walks over to another thing. He pushes another box on top of it so Bray Wyatt can't get up. It's pretty much as stupid as the freaking duct tape ending to the Batista match from like 4 years ago. It was pretty stupid the way it ended, and that's why I went on Twitter right after that and I said John Cena literally buried Bray Wyatt. Well, literally and figuratively, because, well, we all know probably where the Wyatts are going to go now. And the way this match was just finished, though, that was dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was the, if that's the end of the feud was because of that was pretty poorly booked, I gotta say. But at the same time, I gotta look at it and say, well, there was no way that either of these guys could benefit without a crappy ending. You know what I mean? I don't think that. Now, maybe I would. Maybe I don't think John Cena could have won this match and look strong in the process anyway, because either way, the Wyatt family were going to get involved. We all knew that there was going to be interference there. And like I said, maybe having the equalizers there, like Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, I think that actually made Cena's win a little bit more relevant, and it made it seem like it was truly an astounding moment when he beat Bray Wyatt and kind of ended that whole thing. Now, is there going to be an everlasting change in John Cena where after this feud, John Cena's going to go on and do some crazy stuff and he's going to be thinking about this feud for the rest of his career? No, probably not. This is probably just going to be the back burner for him so that John Cena can rise back up like the Phoenix that he is and, go probably into the WWE title Money in the Bank match that's next month. I don't know. But it was a pretty good match, pretty good put together. I didn't like the ending, but then again, not a lot of people like the ending anyway. Um, Next match, we had Paige versus Alicia Fox for the Divas title. We actually had some build-up coming into this match. It's kind of just your regular Divas match, actually. I don't know if it was because we were live in attendance, but it wasn't put together very good. You know what I mean? I don't think that. I know I'm saying that a lot. Excuse me. But Alicia does not look like the girl that would portray this crazy like gimmick. Like I know AJ, I think AJ is probably the only one that could actually pull it off and make it look good. Because the way Alicia does it, especially like the way they put it together a few weeks ago, was when she's doing these whole meltdowns and everything. I don't get me wrong, I think they're funny, but it makes it look awkward at sometimes. It looks awkward on TV, but I think that night was when they actually like solidified it and they said, yeah, Alicia's going to be playing this crazy like gimmick that she's, better than everything in the freaking world and she wants to. Now, there wasn't even really any build up to the match with Paige, but anyway, Paige gets the victory with the submission, that scorpion cross lock thing where she puts her in the scorpion lock and crossface chicken wing thing. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. It's something like Paige's knockout or something like that. I don't know, but it was okay. I think that's all I'm going to say about it. I wasn't really putting any expectations out on this match anyway. Now for the main event, the no holds barred elimination Shield versus Evolution match. I don't know if it was because of the fact that no Shield members were eliminated. It made Evolution look weak in the process because especially with how physical Evolution was right out of the gate. Because hell, right out of the gate, the first 5 minutes of the match, everybody's in the crowd fighting at some points. I'm trying to freaking keep my eye on one action, and then all of a sudden something's happening in my peripheral, and I look over to Triple H and I don't remember who it was. I think it was Dean Ambrose that he was beating up. And then I look over and I see another thing in my peripheral, and I see Orton and Seth Rollins doing something, and it was definitely a very, very well put together, especially in the first segment, because all hell was breaking loose and everything. And if this is going to be the last time they fight, they better have some sort of physicality or some sort of build to this sort of the match. We just had Roman getting his ass whooped. I'm sorry, I needed to curse there. He got his ass whooped, especially like towards the middle of the match, towards the end of the match. They ripped the bulletproof vest off, and not Triple H, Orton and Batista. They took turns beating him with Singapore canes while Triple H held his arms together, and it was brutal. It was brutal, and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are knocked out on the stage. Then Roman's walking up to the stage. They're still trading blows and everything. Dean Ambrose gets involved, but they fight him off pretty quickly. And then we had the other holy shit moment of the night where Seth Rollins freaking climbs a Titantron. I don't know how the hell he got up there. He gets up there. He sees all four of them, because I remember Dean Ambrose still being a part of that group. And Rollins just jumps off the Tron and jumps onto Evolution. It was crazy looking. It was definitely a holy shit moment. Probably the most extreme moment I've ever witnessed live in person, probably. Because like I said, I haven't gone to a whole lot of pay-per-view events, so that probably didn't help. But yeah, I mean, the fact that we didn't have any eliminations, especially until like towards the end of the match, especially towards like the 15-20 minute part of the match, I think that was where it kind of was unique because we were all kind of expecting probably like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins somehow getting eliminated, and then Roman fighting off Evolution by himself and maybe winning that way. But I don't think anybody actually saw the sweep coming, where the Shield swept Evolution. They took Batista out with the spear. Randy Orton got hit with Dean Ambrose's Dirty Deeds finisher on a steel chair. And then Triple H was speared by Roman Reigns and covered 1, 2, 3. Your winner, the Shield. They celebrated with the crowd to end the show. It was a pretty good match. I don't know if it's going to top Bray Wyatt, John Cena, but it's definitely up there, probably number two. I think match of the night was John Cena Bray Wyatt. Um, but just the feeling in that arena was just mind blowing. Like it's something, especially if you're in a big city like that, especially if you're in like Philly, if you're in New York, if you're in LA, if you're in Florida somewhere, and WWE comes out there with a big pay per view, go, because it's definitely something you don't want to miss, because it was very, like I said, it was unique. It was mind blowing because it was. I'm so used to how WWE put together live events and everything back in 2007 that I was expecting that in 2014, but I didn't get that. The fans are a lot smarter. The fans are a lot more entertain. They don't give a crap what they do, because unless they don't care what they do, if security throws them out of the anything. But you know, very good pay per view. I don't know how it was on TV, but I was I was not expecting a whole lot of good coming out of this pay per view, especially with how it was booked, kind of on paper. But Sheamus and Cesaro, they delivered. Um, Bad News Barrett was kind of like a anticlimactic ending, but with still looked pretty strong in the process. Brie Bella's fired. I don't really know how that really does anything other than screws up Total Divas, but not like I watched that anyway. Um, John Cena defeats Bray Wyatt, and the Shield stand tall over Evolution. That's basically all you need to know about last night's Payback. Let me know what you guys had to say down in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions as to how it was in the arena, different than TV or something like that. I can try and get as many as I possibly can. I don't know what it is, and I'm on my iPod now. The pictures seem very blurry. Um, I don't know if I'm going to try putting them in this video. Maybe I'll put them in like a link down in the description or something if I can somehow get them up. But that's about it for right now, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the match. I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view. I hope you guys tune into my the PTE party we're going to have tonight for Monday Night Raw. That's on Twitter and everything. You guys can follow all of that stuff at the PTE Show on Twitter. Let me know. And it's party time all the time on Twitter. We all know this. So that's about it for me tonight, guys. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. And that's about it. So, Perry the Entertainer signing out. Peace.